Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Samson, the Roadman, and today guys I want to speak specifically to the people in the diaspora, and to make the matters worse, I want to speak specifically to the Zambians in the diaspora that are interested in building back home. Okay, but now this scenario and the concerns that I've gotten so far from people that are in the diaspora that want to build back home have compelled me to actually come up with this particular video today. Okay, so because most of them have been following the building, which have this small cottage which I actually built in 18 days. Okay, now a lot of you have actually come on board to say, hey, would like to build, but then there are these challenges and stuff like that. And most of the people that I've interacted with, the main challenge is finding a person you can actually trust, you know. So let's talk about it, because as Samson-The Roadman, I am into travel content, building, you know, property reviews, and all sorts of things. Of course, now I'm doing a lot of farming content as well, you know. So yeah, that is something that you can actually find on my channel. But then, really, I've gotten a lot of complaints from people that are in the diaspora, starting from those in the USA. I've gotten also complaints from people like in the UK, in Australia, and others in Germany as well. Yeah, Germany, Norway as well. Yeah, I've gotten a number of complaints concerning, you know, like there are a lot of stories that have been going around here on social media of people in the diaspora being scammed. You know, I've gotten first-hand information from some of those people that have actually suffered such kind of relative scam, you know, like because somebody trusted their relative so much, they gave them all the materials, the money needed to build their house, and in the end of it, they were actually disappointed, you know. So this is something that I need to address, and maybe hopefully we get a solution, you know. So for starters, when you're trying to start your construction, or maybe to find land and things like that here in Africa, actually this applies to a lot of people in the diaspora, especially Africans in the diaspora, if I may actually use that word. They've actually expressed a number of concerns in the same line. You know, like maybe they've given their close, somebody they've referred to as a close relative to actually build a house for them. But in the end, they were disappointed, or should I say they were scammed, or maybe some works done were not like equal to the money that was being given out there, you know. So all these things are happening. I can confirm that these are true. They've come from people that have suffered such kind of scams, you know, people that are living in the USA and all these other countries that I've actually mentioned. Now, like I was saying, if you are trying to find land, you need to engage people that are professional, people that you can find a lot of companies that sell land. But of course, like in Zambia, and I know this also applies to other parts of Africa, in Zambia here, it's very difficult to find even a company that is trustworthy. You know, you may find a company that can sell you land, and then later on, after you start paying, maybe you're halfway through, they tell you, no, somebody from our company sold this land to somebody else, so we are actually going to move you to the other part of the land and stuff like that. So all these stories start to come up. But now, same with building. When you are building, for me, this is what I was actually getting to. When you are building, when you intend to start building and you have a plot, engage somebody who is professional. Okay, now you need to get me correct here. Engage someone who is professional, like a professional builder, or a company that builds houses and things like that. It will really be helpful. But now, let me get to this point. If you want somebody that is cheaper, or should I say affordable, more affordable, to your side, you don't want to engage a company, because of course companies are very, very expensive these days to build you a house. they are very, very expensive, you know. And well, it worked very well. But of course, this is a guy who is in Zambia, you know. But that really worked. But it's super, super expensive. That's the point I'm trying to get to. But now, if you're looking for somebody that can actually offer you like an affordable service, somebody you don't know, maybe you just come across them via online. There are a lot of people now that are popping up on Facebook, on YouTube, that claim to be able to help people in the diaspora, you know. For me, this is something that I'm taking serious, you know, especially this year. This is something that I'm taking serious. I have grown in my numbers on YouTube. I have a presence which I don't intend to leave. You know, I have a presence I have an audience which I don't intend to leave. I don't intend to disappoint. And that's the reason why I started offering you guys a number of services which I actually did a video about I actually posted a video about that one. A number of services such as finding your land. That's number one. One of my services, actually top of services. That's number one. Okay, finding your land. Then 2, advertising properties. If you have got properties that you are advertising, you guys can actually get in touch with me, and I'm going to come and do a video about it and post it on my YouTube channel, post it on all my socials, TikTok and Facebook as well. So on all these platforms, I go by the name Samson the Roadman. Okay, so now the other service is basically videotaping your area of interest. For example, if you're looking for land, somebody's told you, oh, there's land this side, and you want me to go and film the area, show you the developments that are actually taking place in that particular area. I can actually do that. I go there, I film for you. Okay, but now, and I have a lot of other services, of which I'm going to link the video up here. You know, at the end of this video, you should be able to see a full list of the services that I'm able to offer to you guys. Now, let's talk specifically about building here in Africa, and to be specific, here in Zambia. So if you're in Zambia, I'm trying to see if there's a light somewhere, maybe somewhere here. I know it's not that good. Yeah, it's midday here in Zambia, and I'm in Kahale village. This is where I actually built this small cottage. Okay, and like I said at the beginning of this video, in 18 days I actually managed to build this. Okay, so let's talk about specifically building here in Africa, in Zambia to be specific. If you are in the diaspora, this is something that is not on the part of the list of services that I'm offering, but I've actually started it right now. Why am I starting such kind of a service? Is because of the complaints that I've gotten from the people in the diaspora, people that have been following me, like watching my videos throughout, you know. So they've come up with a lot of a list, actually, if I may put it that way, a list of complaints. Hey guys, like I've been drawing them down, like, hey, number one on top of that list is actually trusting builders, trusting relatives that are actually helping them back home here in Zambia, you know. So here's the thing. When people are actually saying they can do this part of a job, they can do that part of a job, everybody claims that they are builders here in Africa, or in Zambia to be specific. Anybody that you find on the building site, on the construction site, they will tell you, we can fix towers, we can build houses, we can do the roofing and stuff like that. That's what everyone actually says. So, but that's not true. So if you engage somebody that normally says, hey, we can do this, we can do that, we can do that, yet they don't know how to do one or two things, what they will do is actually at the start of that conversation, they are going to charge you higher prices or labor, you know, so that they can actually engage another person who knows the job, you know. That is if they don't start messing up your building themselves. They will try to find somebody that can actually build for you, you know. But as a result, they are going to charge you more, so that they should be able to pay out that guy and that other guy and that other guy and stuff like that, you know, which is going to consume like loads of your finances. Okay, but now to avoid that, this is why I came up with this particular service, to say, hey, let me help my Zambians in the diaspora, like my friends, my parents, my sisters, my brothers and sisters that are living in the diaspora, be it in the UK, be it in Australia, be it in Japan, be it in USA, be it in Canada as well. I got somebody that was talking about such kind of a thing from Canada, you know. So I am here. I am actually going to be offering now. Here's the reason why I say I'm here and I have a presence online is because I'm talking to people that I don't know. Like some of you that are watching, maybe you've just bumped into this video for the first time and you don't know me, I don't know you, you know, but when you bump into this video and you see the audience that I have, you're going to say, oh, this guy. If you go everywhere on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok, you're going to find me, you know. So that tells you, and actually, if you didn't know now, YouTube is actually my first, that's where I earn my first income, on YouTube. So I will not leave YouTube, you know. So that's the reason why I'm saying, even if you don't know me, you have a reason to trust me because I have an online presence, you know. So this particular building thing that we're talking about is serious. When somebody is in the diaspora, I'll just talk about those that are in the diaspora because I know, you know, I usually put myself in their shoes, you know what I mean. So what these people they go through a lot, a hard time to earn money. I'll talk about those that are watching. Some of you guys can actually mention it in my comments if you agree to that. Those that are living in the UK, really work hard. You know, like it's not easy, like to live in the diaspora, to be specific, in the UK. They don't give you time to rest. You're always working. You need to get maybe 2 or 3 jobs just for you to make sure that you are able to pay a house for a house like this one, you know, in the UK. This would cost a lot of money if it was in the UK. So for somebody to rent such kind of a house, they really struggle. They really need to work really extra hard. Now, they are working extra hard because they want to better themselves. They want to better their lives, especially back home here in Zambia. And now, if from that point where you've worked really hard, you know, you can imagine somebody has really worked hard. They've earned a little bit of money, maybe $30,000 US, $50,000 US, or maybe let's just put it $100,000 US, and they want to go back home, build a house. You know, as they are working there, you know, they want to build a house so that maybe it can be more like their retirement house of some sort, you know. And then they engage their relative who goes out. Of course, they buy them a plot, and then because the neighbor adjacent to that plot they are building, this is a story that I got actually. Somebody is building adjacent to the plot which they have bought. So this guy comes and every time when the relative who is in the UK sends the money to say, oh, buy this, or how far have you gone? This guy would come and capture the neighbor's house like this one. We are building, yeah, and you can see now it's almost done. We're just putting the roofing sheets and stuff like that. So they would, you know, like capture a neighbor's house and then send their relative to say, we've done a good job. With that money you sent has actually worked. Yet, on their land, it's actually bare, just like this, you know. That's something that I got, you know. Now you can imagine somebody is out there, they are really working hard, and then you do that to them. How heartless are you? You know. So those are some of the things I can imagine. Now, if this is a lady in their old age, for example, somebody that is maybe 70, in their 70s, 80s, and then you do something like that to them, they are saying, okay, I want to go back to my continent, Africa, to Zambia specific. I want to go and resettle there. You know, let me die in back where my relatives are. And then they trust you with all these things, and then you scam them in that particular way. If it were you actually who is in the UK, you can imagine that. You know, so such kind of a thing actually got me thinking into maybe this is something that I can actually help people with. So if you're out there and you want to venture into building, you want to build houses here back home in Zambia, you can engage me, and I'll be, now I don't mean that I do build houses, I don't build houses myself, but I can be your supervisor. I can be your involve whoever you want, be it your relative or a builder or a company, but I'll be your man on the ground. You know, I'll be your man on the ground, making sure that what you are buying is of good quality. That's the first one. I can imagine. Let me tell you another story. Talking about quality here. Let me tell you another story. There was somebody actually told me this story. They're in the UK, and then their colleague bought a plot in Zambia. There is a place in here in Lusaka. There's a place we call Minhood Ndeke. So this guy buys a plot, and then they give their relative, they send their relatives money to say, hey, start building, you know, like dig the foundation, here's the money for the blocks, here's the money for this, here's the money for that. And then what do this guy do? They go, you know, in Minhood there are standards. You know, you don't just wake up and start building. So in Minhood there are standards. Now what does this guy do? He goes and buys those bricks, the burnt bricks, the red ones. Those are not made using a machine. You know, like those where you just get soil, clay soil, and you do that, and then you build those bricks, and then you burn them, you know, stuff like that. So this is what this guy goes and starts using, you know, to construct a house for this for his relative who is actually in the diaspora in the UK. You know, and they build a house. When it's almost done and everything, the Minwood property development come in, because those are the owners of the land and stuff like that. They come in and say, hey, here in our properties we don't allow people to build using bricks. You know, like bricks. Not those good bricks. They're those, you know, those just red bricks which are burnt. Yeah, so they tell this guy, no, we don't allow people to build using those. You know, so demolish this house. And then they demolish the house. But then what happens is that the person in the diaspora who lose the money, who lose whatever that they had thought they'd actually invested in, you know, because of this particular relative. And I'm told, in line with that particular story, somebody actually committed suicide, you know, because they had pumped in all their money, you know, all the work that they had done were more like equal to zero. You know, now you can imagine if this was to happen to you, you're in the diaspora, and then somebody messes up with your project just like that, you know, you have to go back to the drawing board, you start afresh, you know, thinking, where am I going to get the money again and stuff like that. So this guy actually committed suicide, the owner of that particular piece of land, you know, so that is what happened. But now to avoid that, this is where I'm basically coming in, you know, to be like your eyes here as we are building. If you want, you can engage me directly. I can actually find proper builders for you. If you want to be on the lower side, you don't have to spend like a lot of money, like engaging companies and these professionals that will give, you know, we are charging 30% of the materials that is going to go, you know, such kind of people. So you can engage me. I'll find you good, proper builders, good painters, good roofers, and good tile fixers. You know, I'll actually form a team of good people that will build your house to a standard that you actually want. Okay, so just let me know in the comment section if you are up for it. There's a WhatsApp line that is actually on this particular line. And regarding now, this is another reason. This is another reason why people in the diaspora are more often scammed. This is a reason. If you intend to build, if you intend to find land, if you intend to, like I said, you can engage people like me. But there are others that think my services will actually come for free. You know, I've gotten a lot of SMSs. I've gotten a lot of WhatsApp messages of people asking for land. You know, oh, is this land available? Is that land available? Is this house available? And is that, you know, things like that. But then we tell them to say, oh yeah, this one is available, but I do charge for me to give you the services that I give, you know, like finding new land. So you're not just going to come to my inbox and say, I want this land, and then I give you, oh, okay, yeah, get it. Here is the owner's number, get it. I can't do that, you know, so I do charge, and my charges are automatically when you send me a message on WhatsApp, there's an automatic reply which will give you all the list of my services and how much money I actually charge. Okay, so be ready to spend if you want something that is quality. You know, for me to go out and do a video about most of these lands that I actually go to, I do a thorough research to make sure that the land is not, you know, like the people that are selling, they're not like scammers, you know, and that's one thing that I do. So sometimes I will tell you, look, I do charge for my services. It's not just like you are going to, I'm just going to be, yeah, go and buy it, then you go and buy it. It ends like that. No, I do charge, and this is how I charge. There's a bit of wind here today, so this is actually how I charge. If you come to me, to my inbox, and say, hey, I want you to find me land, I will tell you, finding land, for example, within Lusaka, now let me just give you one of the charges. Finding land for me within Lusaka, I do charge $100 US. $100 US, that's for me to go out and look for land for you. But now how that $100 is actually divided is, you pay right now, you pay in, sorry, let me use this word, you pay in advance $50. Okay, $50. I don't know if that $50 is about 40 pounds or 35 pounds, I don't know, somewhere there. But you pay that, yeah, it should be 40 or something, 40 something. So you pay that, and then that would enable me to start moving around, looking for land. Remember, I don't have land. You know, I have to go and look for it. You give me where you want it to be, the location, the type of location, how much is your budget, and things like that. So that $50, I'm actually going to start moving around. You know, it will keep me going, go to this place, go to that place. And, you know, like transport, I'll spend a lot of money. And actually $100 is actually very affordable. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section. $100 for me to start looking for land within Lusaka. Now, Lusaka is very big, you know. Somebody actually sent me, I think, a $50 US, and then I had to go to Chongwe, which is very, very far, you know, out of Lusaka actually. But they sent a $50 US. I was like, okay, it's fine. Let me do it for them, because these are my first clients. So I did that for them. But it's actually $50 right now, and $50 when you buy the land, or when you say you are happy with this land, you are going to buy it, then you pay me the other amount of money. Okay, so that's how it works. So if you are going to engage your relative, I mean, you can engage your relative in line with that. They're going to, others will find you genuine land, others may scam you. You know, like I'm from explaining, others may actually scam you. Say, okay, yeah, we've bought this land, yet they haven't even done anything. So now, why should you engage a person like me who is, well, the reason is simple. I am a very independent person, and I'm not your relative. That's what I mean by being independent. I'm not your relative. I'm very independent, and I want to do things. This is my job. This is part of my job. My YouTube videos that I do, like going to look for land, it means somebody has sent me there. I don't just wake up and go to that particular land. Somebody from the UK, from the USA may have actually said, hey, Samson, this guy that is selling land, I want you to go and check if this land is good and do a video about it. So those are the videos that you've been able to see. So others, because they've got big lands, the reason why I post those videos is because there are others that may be interested in that particular same land. So if the owner that sent me, for example, if they're in the USA, they are no longer interested in that particular land, and you that is watching is interested, I'm actually going to proceed and give you their line, provided you pay me the $100 US, you know. So that's how it works. There's nothing for free. If you want to do free things like involving relative, and you think they're just going to do it and then it you know, just like that, That's the reason why most of you actually end up getting scammed. So you need to be, you can engage your relative provided they are trustworthy. If they're trustworthy, engage them. That would be very good actually if you engage your relative that is trustworthy. But looking at how things have happened in the past, it's not good. It's not good, and I'm really, really sad to see lots of you actually out there being scammed. Those of you that have engaged their relative and everything has gone on smoothly, you've built your house, you came here, you saw it, you are happy with it, God bless you. God bless that particular relative of yours. And you should also think about that particular relative of yours every now and then, because that is something that doesn't come easy, it's not cheap, So if you want my services, if you want something that is going to turn out very good, be ready to spend money on people like me who is going to do a thorough job for you, on people like me who is going to give you a good independent opinion on your project, So anyway, that is it. That is what I wanted to actually share with you guys. You've been an amazing team. You've been supporting me. Hey, the Zambians in the diaspora have been doing an amazing job. Some of you, when I was building this particular house, you guys actually supported me. Some of you actually sent me money, like via Western Union. Others would actually send me money via World Remit, and I really appreciate those that are actually supported. I have like about 10 people that really helped me to buy this particular land where I'm standing right now. Guys, I actually suffered at the beginning of my journey. Let me tell you briefly. I bought this plot from that beacon over there to just behind this sand somewhere here. There's a beacon, and it passes going down that way where there's that tree over there. That is where my land used to end. But some of you people that have been supporting me, you said, hey Samson, this land, it's not very big, please extend. And then you gave me some money. I extended this land from there to that beacon over there by 20 by 20 meters. The first one was 15 by 20, but I had to extend it all the way to that side because of some of you. Your support was super amazing. And not only that, let me show you. After all that was done, from that beacon to the wall fence, going all the way to this beacon, and that it is also my land. Some of you again came through and said, these guys, they are selling this particular, because I actually did a video and I told you guys to say, hey, they are selling this part of land which is adjacent to mine, but it has like a very funny shape. Like this side is big, but as you go down this side, this is only 13. That side is about 20 by 20. It's like 20 from that wall fence to that beacon. So it's big this side, is smaller on the other. So some of you say, but this would be good if you are actually the one that got it. So some of you contributed, and I looked for some other money, and here we are today. This is all my land, like from there going all the way to that beacon. So this side is 35 meters, let's say 20 plus, it's about 38 meters. Yes, 38 meters from here, from the wall fence to the other beacon right over there. That is our other beacon. And then on this other side, it's so it's actually 38 by 33. 38 by 33. So this is where this small house is actually sitting. So I would like to build a house over there and another one over here. Like a 3-bedroomed house over there, one, and another 3-bedroomed house over here. That would be nice. That's my intention. So how do I get to that point? I want to work extra hard. I can manage at least 3 to 5 projects if they are all in Lusaka. Okay, so I'm ready to work with you guys in the diaspora. Engage me as Samson the Roadman. I will be up and down. you know, as a roadman, you know what I mean? So I'll be running up and down, organizing things for you. If you are buying raw materials, I'll be there with the guys that have given you the quotation. If they are builders, I'll tell them, guys, let's go and buy these materials. We go together with them. I see that the prices are good prices. Of course, with my experience as well, because I've built this particular small cottage. I have a bit of experience. I know where now we can get some raw materials at a cheaper prices and things like that. You know, so it really helps if you've got a contact person in Zambia to build. It will be very easy for you, you know. So engage me. I'll do a thorough job, I promise. And with God's hands in it, I will really do a very good job. So please support me, guys, as I also intend to support my family and build my own big house on the other side. Okay, so support me. Let's do this thing together. I would really appreciate if you guys can actually get in touch with me. But remember, like some of my services, you need to pay half now and the rest later. You know, so it's not like I'm just going to start moving. If it involves moving, I'm not going to start moving if you don't pay half of it. You know, because I also need to support myself. I need to transport. I need to buy food. I need to buy that. There are a lot of things that needed to be done, you know. But then again, regarding land being legit, that's why, you know, the reason why I was saying actually $100 finding land, it's very affordable, because it is not easy for you to know that the land which this guy is selling is legit, especially if you just see it on Facebook or somebody has just told you about it. It's not easy. You really need to go there, talk to them, hear just how they're, you know, sometimes I actually know by the way a person is actually talking. I can tell that, oh, this is his land, or this one is not his land, this guy is just an agent, or yes, this is his land. Or maybe this guy is pretending this is not his land. Just by talking to them, sometimes I say, no. Oh, okay, I would even leave. You know, and then later on you hear, no, that land has been sold to almost 3 people. Oh, that land has been sold to almost. So there are all these things that you cannot tell when you're just seeing a post on Facebook or you're just seeing a video on YouTube. So you need to get closer to the land for you to actually know if it's genuine or not. But also at an advanced stage, you need to, if it's a titled land, of which I don't find normally easily, you need to go to the council, you need to go to the Ministry of Land, and that would cost even a lot of money, you know. So if it's titled land and it's in the system, I'll charge more. It won't be like $100. I would actually charge more. But if it's this traditional land, it's easy for me to find out. So that's why I charge $100. So you guys, I would really appreciate if you can actually use my services. You know, it's not like a forcing matter, but if you think it's something, I'm actually giving you an option. You know, this is just an option. So if you want, you can go for it. If you want, no, you can engage your relatives or some companies right here. They can actually do a good job, but be aware that such kind of things that I've actually talked about do happen, and have happened to a lot of people in the diaspora. So just be aware. Thank you so much. I'll end this video from here today. My name is Samson, the Roadman, and guys, I'm super excited to have you all here. Thank you so much. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye. Take care of yourselves. Bye.